Impact and effects of money laundering. Money laundering affects the state as well as society. The economic and political influence of criminal organizations can weaken the social fabric, collective ethical standards, and ultimately the democratic institutions of society. In countries transitioning to democratic systems, this criminal influence can undermine the transition. Most fundamentally, money laundering is inextricably linked to the underlying criminal activity that generated it. Laundering enables criminal activity to continue. Economic impacts. A. Impact on foreign direct investment. As with the damaged integrity of an individual financial institution, there is a damping effect on foreign direct investment when a country's commercial and financial sectors are perceived to be subject to the control and influence of organized crime. Fighting money laundering and terrorist financing is therefore a part of creating a business-friendly environment, which is a precondition for lasting economic development. B. Effects on government's economic policies. Money laundering reduces the control of the government over economic policy. It also raises the risk of the potential failure of banks, businesses, and government to implement economic policies. Furthermore, due to globalization, the impacts reach international monetary systems. C. Damage to the private sector. Damage to the private sector is another adverse effect that the money launderers cause to the economy of a nation. Money launderers often act through front companies, which acquire their funds. By acquiring large amounts of funds, they can lower the prices of their services or products to a large extent to penetrate the market. They gain a competitive advantage when other companies are not able to match their prices. Hence, intense competition can devastate existing small and medium-sized private companies because smaller companies usually lack sufficient capital to bear the brunt of price competition. D. Decline in tax revenues. Money laundering directly affects the government's tax revenue. A huge sum of currency that could have been taxed is moved abroad. This loss of revenue must be covered by the government by collecting more taxes from other taxpayers by increasing the tax rate. This hurts honest taxpayers, as well as making tax collection tougher for the government, as the public may retaliate by protesting against the hike in tax rates. E. Effects on financial and banking system. The integrity of the banking and financial services marketplace depends heavily on the perception that it functions within a framework of high legal, professional, and ethical standards. A reputation for integrity is one of the most valuable assets of a financial institution. Political effects of money laundering. Money laundering has an impact on the political perception of the government since it gives a perception that the government is unable to control money laundering and other related white-collar crime. It also affects the reputation of a country at the international level if it appears that the financial institutions of that country might be involved in money laundering. Social impacts. Money laundering gives birth to a number of social costs and dilemmas. Furthermore, it can expose or encourage the people of a country to smuggling, drug trafficking, etc. Money laundering can also contribute to other crimes, as criminals, drug lords, smugglers, black money owners, etc. have to hide their source of income. The possible social and political costs of money laundering, if left unchecked or dealt with ineffectively, are serious. Organized crime can infiltrate financial institutions, acquire control of large sectors of the economy through investment, or offer bribes to public officials and even governments. As for the potential negative macroeconomic consequences of unchecked money laundering, one can cite inexplicable changes in money demand, prudential risks to bank soundness, contamination effects on legal financial transactions, and increased volatility of international capital flows and exchange rates due to unanticipated cross-border asset transfers. Also, as it rewards corruption and crime, successful money laundering damages the integrity of the entire society and undermines democracy and the rule of law.